I'm joined now by Kimberly Guilfoyle, co-host of The Five, tonight playing the role of Sean Hannity at 10 p.m. Eastern. Kimberly, thanks for being here.
Brett, great to be with you.
You know, your take on this move today kind of surprised a lot of people.
It surprised probably a lot of people. It didn't surprise me, Brett, because this was something that I was expecting was going to be a period of transition, a restart for the White House. As you know, a few weeks ago, I was at the White House for dinner and had a nice time with the President and the First Lady and other members of the Cabinet. And I think this was a direction that the President knew that he needed to go in. Obviously, there's going to be people that are upset with this decision, but it really is pressing the reset button for the White House in general in a direction that the President wants to go. I think he appreciates the service of Steve Bannon and you know, his contribution that he's made to the country and to the President, and I'm sure that he will continue to be supportive of the President going forward.
So was he mad at Bannon for you know, some of the things that had been out there about him being on the front of Time magazine or him being a part of this book with Joshua Green? Was he mad about that?
Well, look, I think there's one president of the United States, and that's Donald J. Trump. So anyone else who thinks they're going to assume or take over that position would be sadly mistaken. I think in this case in particular, you know, the president wants to remain just focused on his agenda about, you know, bringing together great economic policies, job growth, positive GDP for the working men and women in the middle class that he really felt had been marginalized and left behind by prior administrations. So I think now going forward, this is something he's going to, you know, focus on, you know, 100%. You heard the President's comments just a few days ago and said that he appreciates Steve Bannon and the contributions that he's made, and also as it relates to the economy and some of his economic advice. But sometimes, you know, you run the course, and now it's time for something fresh and new going forward and unifying his administration.
Yeah, conservative commentator Ann Coulter had this to say, telling the Daily Caller, this makes it appear that Trump is easily manipulated by the media. They just need to give all the credit to any White House staffer they want to get rid of. I dread to think who the media decide to get rid of next. Not good news. Instead of firing Bannon because Trump had his nose out of joint about the media giving Bannon all the credit for the victory, Trump should have hired 10 more like him. Media heads would have exploded. How big a deal is this going to be for Trump supporters who look to Bannon as kind of being the Trump inside voice, if you would?
I think this is going to be very tricky because, of course, he doesn't want to alienate those conservative groups, those core people that have been supportive and loyalists to the President from the beginning, people that also were very aligned, you know, with Steve Bannon. You don't want to see that to be a distraction or something that peels off layers of support when the President is trying to move forward with his agenda, and you already see this playing out right now in terms of fallout. But I will tell you this. Absolutely, Steve Bannon did not, I don't think, plan on staying more than a year, and there was talk for many months that he was going to serve until about Labor Day. So to me, this is exactly what I had heard and known from even the past 9 months. I think he wanted to serve his country and help the President get going and move forward, and now it's time for, you know, a new, fresh start.
Kimberly Guilfoyle, co-host of The Five, tonight, anchoring Sean Hannity's show, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Kimberly, we'll see you then.
All right, thanks. Lots more tonight.